Hey, good morning. It's John again in another video. And today we're going to talk about determining your why. Now, you've heard, I'm sure, if you've been around the home-based business industry for any amount of time, that you need to figure out your why. Why are you doing this? Why are you trying to build a business? A lot of us are extremely busy. We have full-time jobs. I'm a single dad, four kids, ranging from 15 down to 8. And, my day is extremely busy. So to keep yourself focused and in the game and building your business on a daily basis, you need to determine your why. So I'm going to share a little bit about my why, and maybe you can relate. I come from a nice dysfunctional family in Brooklyn. My dad was a drunk and liked to hit first and ask questions later. So I grew up in a household living in fear most of my life, and then I left my house when I was 17. Went out on my own, started working a job. Eventually, I started to make some money, and I got my own place. And I was a high school dropout, so I really didn't have a lot going for me, I thought at the time. Um, Fast forward a couple of years, I was around 23, and I was working really construction, that kind of stuff. It was very seasonal and very low paying. So I ended up getting a job as a runner on the American Stock Exchange. And over the course of 15 years, I went from a runner to a clerk. I moved over to the New York Stock Exchange to work on the trading floor there as a clerk as well. And then eventually I became a floor broker. And I started to make really good money for somebody who was a high school dropout. I was making a six-figure income every year. And I thought that I was set. Fast forward, electronic trading started to replace the humans down there because you possibly, it was all about speed and executing the orders quick. And there's no way you can compete, unfortunately, with a computer when you're a human. So they started laying off a lot of people. And I knew my days were numbered down there. So I tried to get a transfer to our Philadelphia office. I talked to my boss. I said, listen, I'll start at the bottom. I'll start cold calling. It doesn't matter to me what I do. I just want an opportunity to, you know, still have a job. And he said, yeah, sure, that shouldn't be a problem. That was in like June of '06, I think it was. And by about, let's see, June, maybe about August, he stopped taking my phone calls. And my wife and I had found a home builder in Lancaster. I was going to commute from Lancaster to Philly. We had a home built, really beautiful home, four bedroom. And then 2 weeks before, the home was done in November, and then 2 weeks before Christmas in '06, I got laid off. I had no job. They gave me a very decent severance package, so I decided I would get into I had been bitten by the home-based business bug a couple years before that, but I was kind of playing at it as a hobby. So I decided, you know what, this is the perfect opportunity for me to go full time. So I was with a travel company at the time called Your Travel Biz. Maybe you guys have heard of it, YTB. And I bought a bunch of leads, and I was doing a lot of, I was doing a lot of research online. I was a lot of trainings, learning how things worked, and I had a really good idea about everything. But the one thing that I didn't know that was going to creep up was my junk in the trunk and my fear, my low self-esteem, my self-doubt. So I pick up the phone and I start calling these leads, and literally sweat was pouring down from my armpits down the sides of my body. And I was so afraid that I actually had a bucket on the floor by my desk because every time I got on the phone, I felt like I was going to puke. Um, that was so. Needless to say, I didn't really want to get on the phone. Um, so I played around with it for a month or two, and I wasn't doing a lot of calls because the fear was just stopping me. And I was doing some online marketing, but I wasn't really that good at it. So I was generating a few leads, but not enough to really, you know, make a decent living where I could pay my bills. So my wife got fed up, and I went out and got a job. But like I said, I didn't have any degree. I never went to college, so and my experience was limited to the trading floor. And since there were no jobs on the trading floor anymore, um, I went from making $150,000 a year to $25,000 a year. And you can do the math yourself. I didn't have the money to pay my bills, and I ended up losing my house in a foreclosure. Um, and I felt I was crushed. I already had low self-esteem, so throw on the top of that I have four kids now and a wife to support who didn't work because my wife, oh, there's my cat in the background. My wife stayed home with our kids because we didn't want anybody else raising them. So I just, I thought it was it. I was done. I felt like I wasn't a man, basically. You're supposed to be a man. You're supposed to support your family. and I fell into a depression, and I was still working, but I was still playing around with the home-based business thing, but still it was just the fear and just the confusion and the anger that really got to me. So I moved up to this area that I live in now, and I started in EMS. I started as an EMT for a company, but they paid $10 an hour. And then I got a job finally about 2.5 years ago with the Pennsylvania State Prison System as a correction officer. And it's a good job. Don't get me wrong. I like my job. However, it doesn't pay what I need it to pay. I mean, I can pay my mortgage. I can pay my car payments. We have food. We have shelter. We have all the basic necessities of life, and I'm grateful about that. Um, but it's been a lot more difficult because my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer back in July of 2015. And just when I thought things couldn't get worse, going through a foreclosure and all that, they got really, really worse. That was probably one of the toughest days of my life, finding it out. And it was stage 4, and there wasn't a whole lot they could do for her. So, um, she hung on, and we did the best we could, but she passed away this past May. So now here I am, a single dad again, working a full-time job and trying just to live life, but always in the back of my mind, I always wanted to have my own home-based business. That's always been my dream. I want freedom. I want to be able to work when I want to work. I want to be able to be around for my children, to be able to spend time with them and see them grow. Because when you lose a person that's that close to you, it makes you realize really what's important in life. And the only thing that's really important in life is your family, and cherishing those moments day to day that you have that we all take for granted so much. So here I am again, and it just kind of I've done the self-help things, and I've done the Anthony Robbins and all those, those law of attraction, The Secret, but it never really pushed me to where I thought it should have pushed me. And lately I've come to a realization that even though I've heard about the why, it really is about the why. And where you are right now is where you are right now. It doesn't make you a good person. It doesn't make you a bad person. It just makes you where you are. Um, but you need to realize in your heart that if you have a dream, you have to go for it no matter what. Sure, I'm tired. I work nights. I come home. Do I want to do videos? No. Do I want to place ads on Bing or 7Search? No. Do I want to, find a solo ad vendor and buy some ads from him? No. I don't want to do any of that stuff. I want to sleep. But I this time I am going to succeed. I've made that decision. That's the biggest thing you need to decide. You need to decide that this is it. This is what you want to do, and you have to stop with the next shiny object syndrome. You see all these marketers everywhere, especially on Facebook, because Facebook ads are so hot. You see them all saying, how I generated $362,000 in as little as 12 weeks, and those are just unrealistic expectations. There are some people that are generating quite a bit of money online, but they didn't start that way. Most of the people who are successes now have been through years of failure, and failure, just because you fail at something doesn't make you a failure. It just makes that particular situation a failure, but you can always learn from them. So you have to stick with one thing, find something that you like. I found National Wealth Center. I think it's a great opportunity for people to get in at a really low cost. I mean, if you get in the first 3 residual products, it's only $175 a month. And honestly, who can't afford $175 a month? Anybody can, really. Uh, but you see all these people, like I said, that are, it's just all crap. It's all garbage. It's all hype. You know, do you need to make $300,000 in 1 year? No. Would it be great? Absolutely. But let's say you had, okay, 100% commissions, right? $175 product. Let's say you recruit one person. Your business is paid for. Okay. Sure, you're paying 175, but you're getting 175 commission from the person that you recruited. It's a wash. Now, you move forward with that and you start finding more people. You keep advertising, you keep building a relationship with your list. And eventually you'll start recruiting more and more and more people. And then let's say you get 10 people in the business, okay? 10 people, that's an extra $1,750 a month. Now, for most of the people in this country, that would make a difference, That's a mortgage payment and a car payment, uh, we have to stop looking at the huge numbers here, and we have to stop advertising the huge numbers here. And that's the reason why um, I got turned off for a while about this whole thing, because most people are not going to make that much money, honestly. But what if you made an extra $1,750 a month? Okay, What if you worked at it really hard for a year and you ended up recruiting 100 people into your business? That's $17,000 a month. And that's when the big money starts coming in. But you have to crawl and then walk and then run. So determine your why, man. Get real with yourself. Don't worry about the Mercedes Benzes and the Lamborghinis and the huge mansions that you see these people advertising online, because that's all like, it's all nonsense, man. It doesn't mean anything. That stuff doesn't mean anything. What means stuff is you being able to look yourself in the mirror, knowing that you're not lying to people, you're not hyping it up, you're being real with them and saying, listen, this is hard work. Okay, it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it in the long run. And you know that, and I know that. Why do you think there are so many people online looking for ways to make extra money? Because everybody's miserable in their jobs, man. The job isn't going to get you anywhere. Okay. We just had a scare in my prison a couple of weeks ago. The governor announced that they were going to close down 2 state prisons, and they selected 5 that they were choosing from, and my prison was one of them. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to go through this again. I don't want to lose another job. I'm going to take control of my life, and I'm going to stop letting my excuses prevent me from getting the things that I really want. Okay, once you figure it out, I mean, I just started doing this again, and I went from not being able to get anybody even on my list to the past 3 days. I've generated a list of 100 people so far, which is not huge, but hey, that's fantastic in my opinion. Okay, but you just got to be willing to work at it. Now, we have, if you look at the link below, at residualincome.com, that's my site. Head over there, put your email in, look at our system. We have a lead capture system that if you join us in National Wealth Center, right, you come in at those levels I told you about, $175 a month. We're going to give you a free lead capture system. It comes with a lead capture page. It comes with a back office that's got a ton of training videos. One of them is a video marketing bootcamp, which, surprise, surprise, I'm doing right now. It's going to teach you about pay-per-click. It's going to teach you about solo ads. It's going to teach you about all these different methods to advertise. It's got Facebook advertising strategies in there. And we're adding more and more each day. Okay, and this is like this. If you went out and bought one of these systems, it probably cost you maybe $20 to $40 a month. It's also got pre-written emails that you can just plug into your Aweber account, and your prospects will continue to get dripped on and dripped on, because most people aren't going to join after the first sale. They're not going to join after the first video. You have to build a relationship with people. You have to make them know that you're a real person and you take your business seriously, and you got to get them to know you, like you, and trust you. Okay, and you do that by adding value, and that's what I'm trying to create with these videos, add a little bit of value. So I hope you got something out of this. I know life is hard, man, and women. Sorry, man is just the thing I say. But I know life's difficult, and you get tired. I get it. I'm there, but don't worry about the future. Just worry about today. Just plug in today. Okay. Just crack open your wallet, pay your $175, and start your business. Not to mention the fact that everything that you do in your business, it's all tax deductible. It's like giving yourself an instant raise. If you have a job, all right, you're getting taxed on a certain amount of dollars every year. Now, you start a home business, and by definition, you don't even have to be making any money for the IRS to consider it a home business. Okay, you just have to be showing an actual effort to be making money, and you can write off all your advertising costs. You can write off the cost that for your business, your monthly costs every month for your business. You could write off if you need a new laptop, if your cell phone, if you home office. There's so many things that you can write off. You can get yourself an instant. You can get probably several $1,000s if you drive around and talk to people. Guess what? You get like 56 cents a mile now as a business owner, part-time business owner. You're giving yourself an instant raise just by joining a home business. Doesn't matter what it is. If you don't believe me, check out Sandy Bachman. Go to YouTube, look at Sandy Bachman stuff. He was an attorney with the IRS for years. The guy knows probably more about the IRS than anybody I've ever seen. And you can watch his video. He can explain exactly. You can hire your wife. You can hire your children to help you out. They're all write-offs. So that itself should get you motivated to go out and start your own home business. I know you're looking. All right, you're on my list for a reason. Okay, you came and you saw something that you maybe wanted to see if it was real. This is real. Okay, come and join us. We're here to help you. I'm going to be creating a lot more videos for my team to get them started, and we can do this together. So take a look at it. If you're interested, leave me a comment if you have any questions, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.